LeBron interested in Melo. That's our headline. And from our own Ramona Shelburne, LeBron hasn't asked the Lakers to sign Melo. Doesn't intend to, but if Rob Pelinka, Magic Johnson decide that'll be good for the Lakers, the banana boat has been floated. There's a lot of money in a banana boat, Bill Plaschke. If this is something LeBron wants, is it something the Lakers should do?
No, this is one time they have to push back on him. I think he's smart enough not to ask for it because he knows they don't want to do it. Carmelo just doesn't work into what they're doing. They gave him Lance Stevenson, they gave him JaVale McGee, they gave him Rajon Rondo, but those players are not a Carmelo Anthony who take away from what happens on the court. Those aren't players who take away from minutes for the development of the Kuzmas and the Josh Harts of the world. The Lakers, Carmelo's the last thing they need. They had Luol Deng last year, who was the same kind of player who would take away minutes. He sat in the locker room the entire season. They didn't play him 1 minute. So, yes, no.
Sure, whatever LeBron wants, he will take on just about anybody. You know he redeemed J.R. Smith. You know they've got a bunch of knuckleheads already in that locker room. And if the failed Michael Beasley experiment can be not a failure with Carmelo Anthony playing the role of Michael Beasley, why wouldn't you try it? This is a bit of an experiment with the Lakers. If it doesn't work, you do what Houston did.
I think he's willing to come off the bench. And guess what? LeBron James is at a point now in his career. If he wants it, just do it.
He can lead that bench, in my personal opinion. I think LeBron is the one guy that can make him actually accept a bench role.
He wants to play, okay? Now, you remember before the year when you talk about, oh, it's going to be so funny having Michael Beasley on the team. And I was like, dude, Michael Beasley's not going to play. And he's going to be on the team, and he has not played. That's the job that Melo could have, right? You get Michael Beasley out of there, and Melo can ride around, but Melo don't want the shame of that.
As much as we talked about how he wouldn't accept his bench role, he did. The only reason he was starting at times was because of suspension and injury. When he did come off the bench, he was the exact same guy he's always been. Volume shooter who can't hit threes, wasn't even making his spot up Jays, and can't play any defense.
Here's the thing that I think is unfair for Carmelo Anthony. He could have gone to Miami, and he was promised a starting job. He went to the Rockets knowing that he was coming off the bench. By the way, a month ago, up in Brooklyn, he scored 28 points. The next night they went to Chicago, he scored 17, and for some reason the Houston Rockets can't use him.
I don't really think this is good for anybody. Carmelo is not going to rehab his image. He's going to go there and look bad, and we're going to judge him even more than we already have. The guys who we just talked about last week needing to develop get less time, and LeBron doesn't get any of his workload taken off because Carmelo is not a primary ball handler. So how this works out, I don't know, but if LeBron wants it, you do it.
This would be a test of LeBron James' ostensible shadow GM, but I think LeBron James is actually doing something kind of more relatable. He has a good friend, a really old friend dating back to when he was a teenager, and he wants that friend to know, if I'm connecting the dots accurately, that he does consider him of value. But he's just not going to hand deliver him to the GM and say, this is the guy, otherwise I will be furious.
LeBron is not going to do anything that'll jeopardize him trying to get to a championship.
That's the important part of this. The person trying to, maybe who has to go into consultation with Magic Johnson isn't some dope. Yeah. It's LeBron, who understands, by the way, wants to win. He's not going to do anything knowingly to jeopardize that situation. So that moves me towards saying, okay, if he can come off the bench, because Frank, I don't want to disrupt, and it's taking some time to build what they're building. I don't want to disrupt that.
LeBron ain't stupid. We can't talk about LeBron's basketball mind and think that he can't tell that Melo is done. Well, and he is done.
He doesn't belong in Los Angeles. If LeBron wants him to come out there and be on one of his game shows, that's another thing. But he needs to finish his career where he can actually be a starter somewhere. And you say, well, he's not a starter. He's not any good anymore. He can go to a place and like a Charlotte or someplace like that that's not going anywhere and finish his career averaging 18 points. But to go into L.A. when they're trying to mix those veterans and those youngsters, and they are, as I said yesterday, one game behind the Warriors, it's no time for a charity addition.
So you see this as a charity case?